All right,
We
sounds
are
good.
live. I want to welcome everybody. It is Wednesday. Every single Wednesday and every single Friday here in the UEconomy, we bring you something called the UEconomy Faculty. And today we've got the founder of UEconomy is going to be our special trainer for today. This is Peter Wolfing. For those of you who may be watching for the very first time, perhaps you're a guest, I want you to know that Peter Wolfing is a very, very impressive. I've got to say, Peter, I've known you for a while now. Vetted you out as many people have done, and the news is always good. The things that you've accomplished, put over 2 million people into network marketing, direct selling companies, paid out nearly $500 million in commissions on time. The checks have always cleared. I know that you are the creator of some content, like terabytes full of content. I know that you're a keynote speaker at live events around the world, and we're really excited to have you here today. Kind of a special treat. So I'll turn the floor over to you, ladies and gentlemen. Please get out your notebooks and pay attention, because this is some precious time we're spending right now with Mr. Peter Wolfing. Peter, the floor is yours.
All right. Hey, Joe, thank you very much. And hope everything's going okay with Victor. Wasn't able to make it. So we're going to fill in and do the best we can with some information here that's going to be able to help you to build your business. Well, I was thinking about, what I was going to talk about as I thought about doing this at 1 o'clock. And as Joe had mentioned, at heart, I'm a trainer. I love to train and teach people, and teach people all different things that I've done and how I do it, and maybe something in there be able to help them. When I had started my network marketing career, it was way before we had anything like Zooms, or all we had was conference calls at 13 to 20 cents a minute. You'd have yourself a $500,000 or $1,000 phone bill at the end of the month. Any of you people out there that have been around long enough to know what I'm talking about, it's painful. It's painful. We used to do fax broadcasting, and we had a thing with Sprint called Free Fridays. If anybody remember that, or we used to wear them out on Fridays, and do all sorts of things that we possibly could to be able to get the word out about our business. And before I kind of go into a little bit, I just wanted to give you a perspective on really the benefit that you have right now in your business, and that things are so inexpensive. They're so cheap for you, and you can get flat rate long distance. You have your broadband, you have the Facebook Lives, all these different things, social media that we couldn't even dream of back in the 90s. So, and even before that, people, were even worse than that. So we used to be sending out VHS videotapes. We would call it videotape pass out, and I would take priority mail boxes and mail them to people. And many people would do cassette tapes and so on. So very, very expensive and laborious types of marketing. But back then, it was the only thing that we knew. So I figured, why not pull out in my bag of tricks? And I pulled out this here. This is my first book called MLM Black Book. And as you can see, it's pretty thick. It's 360 some odd pages of things to read. There's no fluff. It's just basic content. You see all the different things here. It's 101 ways to build your business. Okay, another page here. So in here we have tons and tons of different things. And I call it kind of the cliff notes of lead generation. And if I ever get time in my life, I want to do another version of this, which would be the stuff that came out since this one came out. But for people that are looking for that, let me just go and share my screen so I can give you a little bit more information here, and we'll kind of go into one or two things here if I have time. This is the website, mlmblackbook.com. You can read it here. It's up to you if you want to get it or not. Totally up to you. But you can see it's got tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff on there. Okay, it's just basically cliff notes of lead generation back in the day. So I'm sure you'll be able to find something in there. But I'm going to cover at least minimum 2 today for you in here. And this way, if we have time, we'll do some more. But I'm going to do at least 2 today. So let's see. Let's go over here to one method in here. And let me just check it out, which section this is in. Okay. Method number 15, page number 55. And that is safe list marketing. And for those of you that don't know what safe list marketing is, if you're always looking for a very inexpensive, if not free, way to build your business, a way to generate and have people that are generally in the same market as you, that are contacting you about stuff that you can flip it around with them, then this is one method that you want to look at. Okay, Joe, let me just make sure. Can you guys see my screen? Let me just make sure that everybody can see my screen before I keep on going. Let's see, chat. Okay, you can. Great. Okay, guys.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. I just want to make sure. I don't want to do the whole thing and nobody can see what I'm talking about.
No, we're here.
Let's do something here, and I want to ask people on here. How many of you have never heard of safe list marketing? Don't be shy. You know, type it in here. Let's be a little interactive. How many of you have never heard of safe list, safe SAFE list marketing? Let me get in the chats here. Have not, never, 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 no. Okay, well, great, great. So then we got some stuff to teach you today. All right, so safe list marketing, let me kind of give you a baseline of what we're talking about here. Safe list, the name safe means it's safe from spam, okay? In the early days when people were emailing back and forth, big thing was, oh, they're spamming me, spam, spam, spam. So they came up with these methods called safe list. Thus, members will join a list, and when they join a list, you agree to receive emails from other people and other members in the group, and for also you reciprocating to them that you can send to them, okay? So thus safe from spam, because everybody's agreeing that they're allowing people to do this. So one of the downsides of safe list marketing that people say is that, wow, everybody just wants to pitch you on their stuff, but they don't want to read your stuff. And I used to think that was true until I started trying it, and I used to start getting signups because of it. So generally in safe lists, there's a few different levels of participation. You have your free market. So this way you join for free. There's no cost to you, and you actually receive emails from the system about other marketing opportunities, affiliates, networking, whatever, things on the internet. And you can send out once in a while, and it all depends on the safe list, but let's just say, for instance, you can send out once a week, okay, because you're free. But as you, in turn, upgrade to higher participation levels, and they might be, you know, pro and enterprise or whatever they have in each one, as you go up, then you can send more frequently, and perhaps you can receive less frequently, okay? So it kind of goes like that depending on your participation. Now, I started thinking about these, and I was like, well, you know, if they're sending me all this kind of stuff, it could be annoying because I don't have time to look at them all. And if they're not, are they really looking at my stuff? And I would send out stuff, and yes, I would get signups. So they do sign up from safe list marketing. But here's the thing, and I started thinking about, well, who am I really trying to prospect in the internet marketing world? I'm trying to prospect generally other network marketers, other internet marketers that are familiar and know about network marketing. So I don't necessarily have to go to explain it to them. It's much easier to just introduce it to them. They already know what network marketing is. They know what internet marketing, they know what affiliate marketing is, generally speaking. So I'm right, you know, kind of a foot up right there, and I don't have to worry about it. So with safe list marketing, I'm like, wow, I have all these people sending me stuff. Why don't I try to gather the information that they're sending to me, create myself a list, and then I can send emails, I can send fax, I can send especially phone broadcasting to them, knowing that it's not spam because they send it to me first. I'm just replying back to them. Okay, so that's the general gist of it. So if you go to Google and you type in top safe list, just like I have here, top safe list, and there's some other ones you can, best safe list 2017, best free safe list. You can do a lot of these different things on here, but I just type in top safe list, and I'm just going to pick, for chuckles and grins, the first one here, top 20 safe lists. Okay, let me just click on here. All right, so thoughts. Now this is going to go into a little bit about safe lists, but you're going to see the safe list right here. Now you don't know whether or not the person that's listing these has any financial interest in here, or they have affiliate links underneath here. It looks like they might, and they're looking to get some benefit out of here. You don't know. Okay, so if you want to look further into it, you can. You know, I really don't really care. I'm in the affiliate world, so if somebody gets a commission on something I'm doing, fine. You know, that's the way I roll, right? And because we all want to make a buck. But if you want to go into look at those other lists and see if there's anything that cross references and they're both talking about the same thing, then you can in turn say, hey, this might be good because this list has it and this list has it, and kind of look at that way. But if you're looking at the list here, let's just pick this one, Quantum Safe List. Okay, so if you click on there, and Quantum Safe List, okay? So as you look at this, you could say, okay, I might want to join this. And the idea here is maybe you join 5 or 10 of these safe lists. Okay, let me try to do a little bit smaller here so I can get it on my screen and see what I'm talking about here. Okay, they have 21,000 members. 21,000 members. So potentially you have 21,000 possible leads that can come to you from this here, okay? So you in turn can look at how it works. You can go in and look at the referrals, the commissions, things like that, no problem. But join for free. You would click over here to join for free. All right, so you go in and you join and create an account. Now, I'm not going to go through and create accounts here and things like that. You guys can do that. But you basically join for free. You probably have to validate the email address of some sort. And let's just say that you're doing 10 of these different things, right? So let's go back here. Joe, if you can mute out your line, Joe, it'd be great. Appreciate it. And let's just say you have Quantum Safe List, Free Safe List Mailer. Here's another one. Okay, join for free right now. Click over here, join for free. Okay. And you just have to, I guess this is their policy, and you accept it and go on and join, okay? And first name, last name, and generally you'll have a contact email and a list email, okay? Contact email is really for the admin that's going to contact you, and the list email that's the email that all the solicitations are going to go to. So a lot of people will tell you when you join a safe list, be prepared to get barraged with emails, okay? And that could be very well be true depending on how active the safe list is. So suffice to say that you've joined these few here, viral URL, Supreme List. You know, as a matter of fact, I actually own a safe list. So it's called safeblast.com, safeblast.com. Let's go there. This is my safe list. I've owned for many, many years. It's called SafeBlast. Okay, all the ranks are military names, so thus I'm in the military. Okay, join here for free, and you're welcome to join this if you like, or whatever ones you like. Okay, now let's go here and go further, and I'll show you how you can monetize this. So you're joining these different safe lists. You've got your account in there. Make sure you see the email address that it's coming from. Okay, and then you go into whatever mail system you have, like Gmail, or if you're using Outlook or something like that. Okay, now let's say you have over here, and I would create, and I did one here already for you, okay? I did an email account. You would go down and create a folder. I call it Safe List Demo. So if I clicked over here, and then I would create subfolders in here for every single safe list that I have, okay? So I might have 5 or 10 of them listed in here, or you can do them separately over here, okay? So what you're going to be doing as you have these emails come in, you're going to use the system over here to be able to, look, actually, let's say I got to click on something, I think, to be able to tag these emails. Okay, let's say I got over here, okay? So I want to click on this one. All right, so I want to go in here and I want to filter messages like these, and anything coming from the mailing system of the safe list, I want to direct it to that folder. So you can go anything with a certain subject line, anything that has these words, things like that, and I can create a filter for it, and I can apply it to the safe list folder that I want to apply it to. So this way it's not going to clog up your inbox. So I go down here and I want to apply it to, where are we here? Safe List Demo. All right, and then I could say, okay, I want to apply this filter to 2 matching conversations. I don't want to do that because this email is not necessarily the one I would be doing with that, but you can forward it, you can delete it. I would say apply it to this, okay, and skip the inbox, okay? Skip the inbox and apply it to your Safe List Demo, create the filter, and then everything that comes in from that email address from that specific safe list is going to go right into that folder, and it's not going to clog in your email box, okay? So now you do this for every single one that's coming out, and I don't think I have a safe list in here. Let's see. That is an older one. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have one in here. So what you have to do is, as these start to come in, you're going to be looking at these different safe lists, okay? And you're going to be looking at all the emails coming in, and you have to analyze these emails. What you're going to be doing is looking for names, phone numbers, email addresses. You want to take and do this. Let's see. You want to open up a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, and you want to put first name, last name, phone number, email, the date, the safe list it came from. You want to put maybe the solicitation email that they sent to you. More data, the better, because that's more information that you can use for your marketing. So this is called physical labor, okay? This is called rolling up your sleeves, and you have to do this manually. All right, so as you're doing this with these safe lists, you're pulling all this information from the safe list, and sometimes you have to click on the link to go to their link to get more information, to get the contact information from the actual solicitation. You put it on the Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. Now you have that list, and then you can use it. Email marketing, you can physically call them, use it in a predictive dialer, you can fax it, you can, well, fax it, that's way back in the day, not fax, I meant to say texting, and you can use any different ways to do that, and the person will say, well, how did you get my information? They said, well, you solicited me. So as you contact these people, I would not just pound them over the head with whatever you're doing. I would say, hey, John, thanks for sending me that information about Amway. I just want to know, how's it going for you? You know, we have whatever, maybe you come in with a solution for them, because you know for a fact that unfortunately, networkers and internet marketers have the patience of a gnat, right? And they jump from thing to thing to thing to thing, but not UEconomy people, right? We don't do that because we know that doesn't work, right? So, but anyway, you know that they do that all the time, and what they're doing today may not be what they're doing tomorrow. If I had a little time to set this up and I had more notice, I would sign up for a few safe lists and I'd show you all the emails coming in. This way you'd be able to see them and actually how we would do it. But I think you can kind of get the idea of what I'm talking about. So if they're going to be flipping from thing to thing to thing, even if you contact them a few weeks later, a month later, or a few days later, they may not even be doing that anymore, right? So, but you have a hot lead of somebody that you're going to do reverse marketing on, okay? So you contact them with a system, a tool, a lead generation system that you're doing right now in order to eventually tell them what you're doing, okay? And thus you become the savior, because I usually build tools, so I used to always reverse market them with tools. So I would come up and I would introduce them to a tool that's going to help them to do better in whatever they're doing at the time. And if they're going to have to use it anyway to generate leads, why not get it from me? So, and after that point, I would introduce them to my business opportunity many a times that has the tools in it. So they would join as default because they want the tool to be able to build their business, right? So I wasn't looking to go out there and say, hey, my BizOp is better than your BizOp, which automatically drops a wall in front of everybody. I would go and say, hey, listen, I'm going to help you do better in your business. So, so that's reverse marketing using a safe list marketing method. So does anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions on this type of marketing?
Feel free to put your questions into the chat box, you guys. If anybody has a question, there's also a question and answer forum in this software. This is really good material. You know, Peter, I forgot about Safe List. I remember way a long time ago, and I do remember those heavy telephone bills that you were talking about. I remember what it really cost to be a network marketer. I think that we've gotten spoiled. And reminding me about this Safe List stuff. This is going to be a good strategy to implement.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's free. And if you have people that are worried about cost, and you know, and you know what you can do actually, if you set this up, why not outsource this to somebody else that you're paying $5, $6, $7 an hour or less, and then teach them this method to do it, and let them do all that work for you, right? And it doesn't even have to come into your inbox. It can be a separate Gmail account. And you say, listen, your task every single day is to go through that, to gather the information, put them on a spreadsheet, and get them to me. You don't have to do that. Like, I wouldn't be doing that. I used to do that, not anymore. If I was doing this method and I was actively prospecting, which I'm not, I would outsource it to somebody else, right? So does it have phone number and only emails? Most of the time it's going to have email, but sometimes, and it's from Andrea, Most of the time it'll have phone number, I'm sorry, email, but you have to click on their link to go to their website, which will probably have their phone number on it. So a little bit of labor involved. Okay, so and sometimes when they send the email, they'll have their phone number on it, but many times you have to click on it to go to their website. And if they're a referral marketing person, they may have their phone number on there as well too. But you want to gather as much information. So if they say, hey, how did you get my information? You can say, hey, listen, I got your solicitation on Amway from XYZ Safe List. And they're like, oh, yeah, I'm a member of that. So this way there's a kind of a building a relationship there, and you're coming with a whole different posture with them, okay? So you're able to do that through the Safe List stuff. So, if you say, hey, listen, I got your email from Quantum Safe List regarding Amway or whatever business they're doing, how's that working for you right now? Just like my training, right? I did it in the U Mentor, the first one. How's that working for you? So how's it going for you? And you just go on with your introduction at that point. So, and that's one of the methods here in the MLM Black Book, okay? Remember, phone bills in 9x11 envelopes. Yeah, those, and priority mail ones too, Kelly. So, yeah, we used to do boxes and video, VHS videotapes and all sorts of stuff. It was like, wow. Okay, so let me move this over here. Now, the next thing I want to talk about can be a lead from this. Let's just say you have gathered a list of phone numbers. How are you going to contact these people, okay? There's two different really ways, well, three. You can do a text blast, which I'm not going to talk about today. You can do, actually three ways, a text blast. You can also do a ringless voicemail, and we have a ringless voicemail system. If you go to over here to uringless.com, and most of the stuff here is already done for you, so you can use this system to do broadcast out, and they'll do pretty much all of it for you. This is part of our system.
With
okay?
Ringless, you get.
And they also give you lead scrapers, which I also talk about in here too. So I've developed and built many lead scrapers, and they actually give you many lead scrapers in there for free as long as you're a member. So it's very cost effective. I don't remember how many they give you, but it's a few different ways to use lead scrapers on the internet. So so you can do that. Now, the other thing you can do is use a predictive dialer. Does anyone here never heard of a predictive dialer before? Let me know. Anyone here never heard of a predictive dialer, or if you've heard of one, let me know. Predictive dialer. No? Okay. Andrea says no. Okay, a predictive, yes. Okay, some people are going to say yes, some people say no. I heard, but I'm not sure on how it works. Okay, let me go over here to this website, and because I talk about predictive dialers in here too. Okay, hyperdialer.com. This is a tool that I own, okay? And this is a predictive dialer, okay? And you see my book down here, so you know I own it, right? Guys, you don't know how many sites that I own. It's because I've been in the business such a long time. I don't advertise that I own all these different websites, but it's good for you to know that I own all these different websites in our parent company and UEconomy and Multiplex Systems, and that we own these is good for stability because we have our tentacles everywhere, that we're doing all sorts of different stuff, which means that we're a solid company, right? So it's good to know that. And if it's appropriate, then we'll let you know some of the things that we do have out there. Okay, now a predictive dialer, if you ever want to try this one, you can click over here for a free trial, okay, and try it out. But a predictive dialer is a system that's going to automatically dial a list of phone numbers with the contact information in it, name, phone number, email, things like that. And it's going to dial 1, 2, 3 at a time. And as it dials 1, 2, 3 at a time, as soon as somebody picks up the phone and says hello, you're going to talk to them, because it's not meant to drop information to them like which I'm going to cover next, which is phone broadcasting. This is meant to physically talk to somebody on the phone. So you got your headphones on, like the lady in this image here. You got your headphones on, it's dialing, you're watching your screen, and you're seeing it dial. And as soon as somebody picks up the phone, their contact information shows up on the screen, your script shows up on the screen, and these little buttons show up on the screen that you can click to say this person is a good lead, not a good lead, a bad lead, or whatever. And you can talk to them, and you can type in notes as you're talking to them, and their name and information shows up too. So you can say, hey, Sally, or is Sally there? Or whatever, you know, see something like that, and you can follow your script. The other really cool thing that we have in here is called a whisper function. A whisper function is you're doing that thing, but also in this side, before you even started using this, you have three-way called your sponsor, or you have an upline that's also on the phone too, and they're listening to you do all this, but the person you're calling can't hear them. You can hear them, but the person calling cannot hear them, and they whisper into your ear, make sure you talk about this. You're talking too much. Shut up. Ask for the sale, or something like that, and they'll let you know what to say, what not to say. So, and that's kind of how you actually break the ice of you being afraid to be on the phone. At first, you're doing three-way calls with someone that's been in the business for a while. You just do a basic introduction, and they handle 95% of the call. Eventually, they're doing 75, you're doing 25, then 50, 50, 25, and so on. Then eventually, you're doing most of the call, or almost pretty much all the call, and they're sitting there just in case someone asks a question you don't know the answer, and they're kind of weaning you out and eventually kick you out of the nest, and you're flying. So that's how you start doing it. You kind of go from one extreme to the other, and instead of just saying, well, I'm over here, and I'm going to jump way over here, and then you're like so petrified, you're like, you got twitches because you can't do it, right? And then you're out of the game and you're gone. We don't want to do that. We want to wean your way into it and start going through this pendulum of doing a little bit, and start breaking that fear pattern. And as I said, in the comfort zone training, you're going to expand your comfort zone little by little, and eventually you're like free because nothing phases you anymore. But you can't go from here to here in one shot because you're going to be, you're going to have twitches, right? And you're going to be out of the business because it's too far. It's too far. So you do that pendulum thing. So once you start doing three-way calls and you start getting into doing with a predictive dialer, then you'll be off and running. So that whisper function is cool. And so if you click on that, you'll be able to start using that anytime you want. Give it a shot. It's, let's see, how many? We got 5 hours to try it for free. 5 hours to try it for free. Okay. So you can use this anytime you want if you ever want to try it. Now, the next thing that we want to talk about in this whole swing of safeless, ringless voicemail, predictive dialer is phone broadcasting. Phone broadcasting for so long has been my go-to, where I've done so incredibly well with that. And John, who you see on the calls all the time, John is putting together a whole system called UTools. And John is going to be running a lot of the phone broadcasting. You'll be able to go to him. Don't go to me. You'll be able to go to him. He'll have leads. He'll have phone broadcasting. He'll have the call time. He'll have done for you systems. So if you don't want to do it, you say, listen, do it for me. What's the price? He does everything for you, okay? Or he'll have his team do everything for you. I'm sure John's not going to do it, but he'll have his team do everything for you. So you have, again, one range from all the way to the other range where you want to do it yourself? Great, we got that. You want somebody else to do it? Great, we got that. Everything in between. So let me describe on the phone broadcaster. And this is one of my products that I have, which is called Phone Prospector. And we go log in here. So this is a phone broadcaster, and this is where you can contact people in mass. And I think I already have one going on right now. Let's see. Okay, yes, we do. Good. All right, so let's see. There's actually one campaign running right now, and this is this one right here. It's calling 50 calls a minute. This is calls per minute, 50 calls a minute. 35 lines are running right now, 15,000 numbers. Numbers complete, calls made today, live answers 257, and this started about a half an hour ago, okay, guys? A half an hour ago, and it already has 257 people picked up the phone, 714 went to voicemail, 143 no answers, and as you can see, it's pretty extensive. And we had only 315 minutes used. The cost per minute, I'm going to round it off at 2 cents a minute, and this is all 6-second billing. So you figure 316 times 0.02. Somebody do the math, type it in there and let me know how much it is. It's really not a lot of money. And you're only paying for completed calls. So 327 times 0.02. Anybody know what that is? 327 times 0.02. Can anybody give me that number? And that 0.02 is going to $6.32, whatever, give or take. Okay, so to contact that many people, it costs you less than $7. And live transfers mean these people went to transfer over to a voicemail that has a recorded message that's giving them the information, right? So this is the big number right here. Live transfers over there, and out of those people that listen to the voicemail, some people are going to hang up, and some people are going to leave their name and number and say, hey, this sounds really good. So you see how this sorting process goes from here to here to here to here to here to here to here, right? So if I were to click on here, okay, all of these light up, and if I want to add more phone numbers, I just click on add phone numbers. Oh, can't do that because it's already running. All right, so let's go see if I can do this over here. Okay, so these are phone numbers that I listed into the system, okay? And if I want to go add more phone numbers to the system, I can do that. If I want to add somebody to the do not call list, I can do that. I have libraries of audios, all different kinds of things. So if I wanted to start a whole nother campaign, it's very easy to do that, to start a whole nother campaign. Just click on new campaign. I just start answering little multiple choice questions on, you know, do I want to go to a live person? Do I want to go to a voicemail? Do I only want to go to a live person? Do I want to go a live person and a voicemail? You know, and I mean, I'm not pitching my book, guys, but I cover all that in here. The psychology behind it, voicemails, scripts, all this kind of stuff. Do you want to have do not call? Do you want to? So it asks you these specific questions, and if you don't know what it is, you just click on it, and it pops and tells you what you have to fill in this box. And I have it down to a science where if I go here and I say, hey, listen, I have a campaign that's already running, this one, I just want to clone it. I just want to have this campaign. I want to do exactly the same thing, do it over, different time, and it has a whole nother campaign for me right there. So campaign opens up, I just go in and I want to add phone numbers to it, and I'm all set. So so here you'll see it pop up here. Here's the clone of the last one that I did. Now it's all zeros. So if I were to click on that and I would want to go add phone numbers, I could add numbers to a library. And then I click on browse, right? And let's see, I have phone numbers right here. So generally the way I do this is have only phone numbers. And do we have enough time to do this? Let's see, I'll show you how I do it right now. Let's just open this up. I'll format it right in front of you to show you how simple it is. And I'm doing this on this little bitty laptop here, guys, not on my regular PC. So it might be a little slow. And how you can take a whole list of, these are BizOps, okay, these are BizOps right here. Move this over. Can you guys see that? Let me see, maybe share my screen. Let's see, maybe you guys can't see that. Let's see how I can switch this over, new share.
I can see your screen.
Okay, share this. I want to share this one. All right, so this is the list. I guess you can see this, Joe. Is this the list? Can you guys see this one? Yeah, there we go. All right, so this is the list. Now, if you expand all this, you can see these are the phone numbers. Sorry about the New York City noise in the background. But all I do is you go over here, highlight this. I right-click on it and delete it because I don't want it. All I want is the phone numbers. And I highlight this, go over to the right, delete it, and I can actually go here and I see there's some stragglers in here, but the system is going to pick those off anyway, so it doesn't matter if you do this or not. But you can also go to sort this out if you want to sort, and you sort from A to Z, and you'll find, okay, here's some bad stuff. So I just go down, and I'm going to delete all this stuff that are not, I can see for a fact that these things are not phone numbers. So I just go down and I delete them because maybe they weren't in the right columns or whatever, okay? But anyway, I'm showing you how to do that. I don't want to do all of them, but, and you can just delete this and everything will shift up. But after you're done doing that, my screen's getting really crowded with all these windows open. But you can see these are all the phone numbers. So all I do is go in and save it, but I don't save it as the same thing. I'll save it as the same name dash phones, or same name, but have something at the end designated that it's a phone number. So this is the same list right here, but I don't want to kind of delete this and just have phone numbers, so I'll put dash phones. Okay. So now I've already gotten a list that's ready to go, and let's just go down to the bottom here. We'll see how many phone numbers I have here. It's a lot. Okay. I still have to get all these bottom ones out of here, which I can do very easily. But you have over 38,000 phone numbers. And I'm sure probably at least half of those are cell phone numbers, maybe more. but it doesn't designate which one. But over 38,000, if I ever wanted to go in and chop it up into smaller pieces, there's multiple ways to do that. You can just go in and highlight like that, you know, and go and highlight them and put them into different lists and things like that. So if I save that, then I'm ready to go. I'm going to go in here and reshare my screen. Let's see, where are we? Okay, we're back on here. All right. Here we go. This is the list right here. BizOps June dash phones. So I would just click on that and click on open and upload. And that's all there is. It's not hard to do that. Once you learn how to do that, guys, it's really, really easy to do it. Okay, so all these are being uploaded right now. The thing that stops people is fear. The thing that stops people from doing all this stuff is fear. I don't know what to do, so I'm not going to do it. You have to dive in and learn this stuff. What technique I tell people to do is pick one thing and do it for a week or two nonstop, but only that thing. And before you go into another thing, you make sure you're comfortable doing that thing, whatever it is, okay? Then you do another thing. Then you go on and do another thing. And I guarantee you in 4 to 6 months, you're going to know more than most gurus out there because you focused in on one thing. If you try to do a million things, you're not going to be able to get anything. You're going to have mediocre success in a lot of stuff. But if you want to learn phone broadcasting, just dive in and do it. The thing with phone broadcasting is do it slow first. Don't just blast it out and find, oh, I made a mistake. Do it slow, get your information correct, and then start to pick up the pace once you see it working. But in any kind of marketing, if you want to learn stuff in here, and there's a lot more stuff than in this book that's out there right now, pick one or two things, learn those different things, get better at it before you move on to something else, and you're going to be like, wow, you know, I know all these different things, and I can, then when you get really good at it, you'll have 5 different ways of generating leads all at the same time. Then say, listen, I don't even want to do this anymore. I know how it works. I'm going to outsource it, and I'm just going to inspect what I expect from these people, and I'm going to let them do it for me when I can focus on doing what's supposed to be done, which I'm the rainmaker, and I should be calling them on the phone. So they're generating the leads, they're sifting and sorting for me, and I'm just calling back. Joe, can you put your screen on mute, please?
I'm sorry. Yes, no, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So then you should be the one calling on the phone, closing the deal. You shouldn't be doing all this stuff. You do the stuff when you have to do it, but you outsource to other people when you know how much your time is worth. Okay, so think about eventually you get to the point where how much is my time worth? Is my time better spent setting this up, doing the elbow grease with the safe list, doing all this kind of stuff? At the beginning, yes, when you're doing your business, you have to take the trash out, okay? But as you go and you start getting better and better at this, you start to outsource it and do things that are going to generate you the most money. It's called the $500 an hour mindset, which is $1 million a year. You have to pick out what's my time worth, and then you work backwards with your time. And if you're looking at something and say, is that worth $500 an hour? No, then what are you doing it for? Outsource it. Is that worth, you know, maybe that's worth $50 an hour, then what are you doing it for? Give it to somebody else, and you should be making $450 an hour by giving somebody else that $50 an hour work when you should be doing something else. But don't go goof off. Don't go goof off. You have to go in and you have to do that work, right? You just can't say, well, hey, I'm kicking back because I have somebody else doing it. That's not going to work either. So you have to have that mindset that you in turn are going to outsource it. So you're going to make it rain by doing what's the best use of your time. Does everybody understand that? Let me stop there for a second. Any questions on that? Because that's very important. So many people have a problem getting that in their head, and they want to major in minor things. You know, something that takes 20 hours, $20 an hour to do it, and they just can't get rid of it. They have to do it themselves. This is what happens. And I'm going off on a tangent. Sorry, I'm getting on a roll. I get hyper. Okay, sorry. This is what happens. People, network marketers, they'll start, let's just say how much, let me throw out a question there. How much do you want to make in a year? Okay, let's just throw it out there. You want to make $200,000 a year. Okay, I'm just throwing a number out there. Let's just say I gave you a gift and I said, listen, you're going to start this year, next year, 2018, you're going to start at $200,000 a year. You're starting at $200,000 a year. But every time you don't do $200,000 a year hourly work, we're going to take that away from the $200,000 a year. And then you wonder why at the end of the year you made 30 or 50. because you weren't doing $200,000 a year work. Same thing with $1 million mindset. Every time you're not doing $500 an hour work, you whittle that away. It's like going to school. Your kid went to school and your teacher said, hey, we're going to start everybody out with an A this year. September, they start school, everybody gets an A. But when you start not doing A work, then it goes down to an A minus, a B, B minus. That's the same concept, right? Same thing here. You have to look at your business that way with what you're doing with your time, how you're incorporating your time, and how you're doing all this in your business. What's it worth to you? Make sure you do the things that matter in your business, okay? So anyway, let's get back on the thing we're doing. All right, so you're uploading this to the campaign, and we'll go over here. And the system, what it does is it uploads the leads and it sorts them, okay? It sorts them through. Now, we don't have anything set up, so that's why it says 0, okay? So we don't have any time set up. There's nothing really set up. There's no voicemails, anything like that. Okay, so this uploaded 38,998, and we got 20,154 actual good phone numbers out of it, because it's going to sort out the do not calls, the bad phone numbers, all these types of things, okay? So now this is ready to go, and I would go in and I would add my voicemail. I'm going to add where it's going to point to when somebody picks up the phone and says, yes, I want more information. Where's it going to send? Like here, where's it saying? Now we're up to 7, okay? So where's it going to send? And I'm setting up all this information in this information here, okay? So I just click on it, I highlight it, I go into edit campaign, and that's where these questions are. It's asking me, do I want to play a message of live answers and a different message for answer machines? Maybe I don't want to do live messages. Maybe I only want to do voicemails. Maybe I don't want to do voicemails and I don't want to do live messages. You pick out what you want here, and this is where you set this up so it knows how to incorporate all this stuff here, okay? And again, if you don't want to do this type of stuff, we're going to have it done for you as well too, okay? So this way you're going to be able to have these things done for you if you want to. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you learn how to do this and you learn how to do all these other prospecting things, then it's a wonderful thing, freedom, you know, because you can start generating, you have leads coming in from every different direction, being able to come into your inbox, and you have so many people to talk to that if somebody says no, it's like, okay, no big deal. Would you mind? Hey, I'll get back to you in 3 months. You know, I mean, you're not going to be that nonchalant about it, but you know what I'm saying, right? Because you have all these different options. Let's see, chats. We got chats here. Okay, I need help putting the 7 letters into the autoresponder, or do you create them into MailChimp, and how? You can, I don't have time to do this here today. Well, I think there's videos back there on how to do that, but they should have already the letters into the autoresponder. I don't use MailChimp. You have to look at the information on how to use MailChimp or any of the other ones, and how you set up the days and the sequence of days and how it goes through. But you just keep on adding one day that goes after the next day, goes after the next day, and you just add those letters to it, and make sure you add your contact information there as well too. So this way you can do that. All right. So sorry, Linda, I can't get into that right at this moment. Joe says, am I outsourcing callbacks? I don't like to do that personally, and I would not outsource callbacks from international people. I would outsource, if I'm going to do it, to people that are domestic that do not have an accent, okay? Too many times you get phone calls from people and they think it's some kind of weird stuff going on, and if they hear an accent. So you want to have somebody that generally speaks English very, very well, that's calling from the US, and it kind of cuts through those barriers. If you hear people calling with an accent, people are going to have preconceived notions, and that you're already fighting with that already. So I wouldn't do that. So the two things there, do you want to call people back yourself and have control of that? Or do you want to have a closer, if you will, kind of what we have our U coaches, and they would be calling back for you on your behalf? But if you're using systems like this, it wouldn't be the U coaches, it would be somebody else that you're maybe hiring to do that. You can find on the internet all sorts of people like that that are willing to do that for you, but you have to school them on your program and all the information about your program. Personally, success is uphill, guys. Success is uphill. I know a lot of times you don't want to talk to people, but your income is going to jump 30, 40, 50% by just picking up the phone and talking to people. It's not that difficult. And after you do 2 or 3 dozen of them, it's going to be like no big deal. And your income is going to go way up, and you're going to learn. You're going to be able to pass on that firsthand information, that field experience to your people. on how they can do the same thing too, and then your business is going to explode that much faster. So things that I can normally do that the rainmaker needs to do, which is close deals. I usually don't like to have other people do that, and I want to do that. So, but also it helps you if eventually you want to get to that point where you want them to do that, you have to have the experience to be able to know how to do that. So this way you can keep them on their toes. When I had the restaurant business, I have a culinary degree too, but my parents had a restaurant business. And they're like, what are you in here doing this for? He says, I got to know how to do this. The reason why I went to culinary is because I wanted to learn how everything functions, not just get this and get that from the chef. I want to know how everything works. So same thing here with lead generation. I want to know how everything works so I can keep everybody else on their toes if I am outsourcing and doing different things like that. So eventually if the chef was to leave the restaurant or if the chef is out, then I want to know how to do that. Perfect example is today. Victor can't make it today. So what are we going to do? Cancel it? No, I step in. I know what I'm talking about, right? So if I didn't know, I wouldn't have that option to be able to step in and to be able to do that. Same thing with you and your business. It's the better thing is for you to be able to get in there and know your stuff first, go through the pain of the practice, and the learning this stuff, because it's painful. If you don't know what you're doing, it's what I'm saying painful. I'm not talking about hurt painful. I'm talking about it's painful because of it takes effort and people don't see you doing it. You're doing stuff behind closed doors when other people aren't looking, and it's the stuff that you have to do behind the scenes to be able to get to that higher check that most people don't see that you do. And if you know how to do that stuff, then your whole business is going to be much, much easier. But that first few steps is difficult. Like I said, success is usually uphill and success is inconvenient, so you can't always have things convenient all the time. Let me see, anything else out? All right, let's see, questions. Yeah, Kelly, I know you're a rainmaker. Let's see, 4 new messages. Thank you, guys. Hey, thanks, Doug. I appreciate that. Applied knowledge is power. Are you coaches active now? We are this close with the U coaches, this close, this close. All the mechanisms are done. We just got to make sure a few things are done, and we're ready to go with the coaches. So we're like this close with the coaches on that. So I can't wait to release the beast. Is it advisable to use a domain forwarding to our UEconomy opt-in pages? Yes, always. I would always use domain forwarding, but I would not use domain masking because you don't want to have the problem of possible knocking out tracking links and things like that. I don't like to use masking if I can help it. Masking means you're gonna hide and mask out the link all the way through the whole process, and you don't want to have that happen where it's going to knock out the tracking link. If you try masking, make sure you check all of your links first and have it go through a few times and do a dry run through first, so this way you know all your links are working. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. All right, so guys, I hope I gave you kind of wet your whistle a little bit of what's possible in the business. You can see real life example. Now we're up to 9. So it definitely works. I use it. It's a system that I'm very comfortable with. I've been doing it quite a long time, and the stuff I teach you is from practical experience. Now, if you're part of the U Network, which we're going to be releasing later, U Network is the $12,000 level. We go into all this stuff. What you got today is like this much out of this much that we're going to teach in U Network. So we're going to go into prospecting, talking to people, lead generation, all different kinds of lead generation for you. I mean, this is just a small little smidgen of what we're going to talk about in the U Network. So, that's going to be great. Yeah, this is all in the book, Rob. This is all in the book. If you go to mlmblackbook.com, it's all in the book. Look how thick this is. It's a very heavy book, so it's $29.95 because it's a ton. People told me if you heard my class in the New York session, that this was my first foray into being an author, and I made it way too thick. So I could have made 2 or 3 books out of this. I made it way too thick. In hindsight, I would have made 2 or 3 books out of it, but it's 1. All right. Let's see. All right, guys. So thank you very much. I'm going to turn it back over to Joe, and I'll hang on here if we have any more questions on anything. But Joe, can you please take it away?
I will. If you'll stop sharing your screen. Thank you very much, Peter Wolfing. You're absolutely amazing. If anybody does have any comments or questions, please, right now you can enter them into the chat. MLMBlackBook.com was mentioned here today. PhoneProspector.com was mentioned here today. I love the whisper function. I have never heard about that. I've used some of those predictive dialers before, but I've never heard of the whisper function. Hyperdialer.com. Really, really cool stuff. I also want to say that we do have somebody in our community. I know, as you mentioned, Craig actually mentioned, he popped in there with a question. I think we will be elevating Craig very soon because he's a specialist with that one specific thing. I've heard his training. He does very, very well.
Right. Love it.
Yeah, so we got a lot of stuff coming up. Anybody else have a terrific day? Awesome, guys. Thank you very much. Peter, thank you very much for being the man, stepping up today and filling in for Victor. We're going to be back every single weekday, you guys. Remember, every weekday, live at 12 noon Eastern. We come to you at uradiolive.com. You got to show up, right? Because there were people that were there this morning. Peter announced, he sent me a Skype this morning, live during the radio broadcast, that there was going to be this shift in the training. So it's important that you check in there because that's like the home base. We give information. We give current stuff that's going on as we move through our final pre-launch here. T-minus 75 days and counting. We'll be back here tomorrow. We've got 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do a U-Zoom on Thursdays. And I'll be back again tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern at U-Radio Live. Until then, make sure that you're showing up on the Facebook page as well, because when changes come up, they show up on the Facebook page. Now, there's a lot of excited people out there in the world, and they're really excited about UEconomy, but there's only one authorized, authentic UEconomy Facebook page. That's UEconomy Company. That's where all the cool stuff is. That's coming straight mostly from Peter. I want you to make sure you go there and get the latest document that covers all of the products and the pricing. And then until then, thanks again. Anybody else? Thanks for the great info. 75, wow, that's amazing. Thank you very much, Peter, for sharing what it is that you do every single day, all these different lead generation sources coming in. Let's just take action, right? I came across something the other day. It said, perfectionism is actually procrastination. You know, it's never going to be perfect. If you're always waiting for it to be perfect.
Wait until you know how to do it, you're never going to do it.
That's right, man. That's right. So just, take the action. Let's get the leads flowing. We have the landing pages rolling, and we'll be back in the morning every single day, 12 noon Eastern, and we'll see you on Tuesdays and Thursdays on Zoom. It's called UZoom, uzoomlive.com. And on Wednesdays and Fridays, every single 11 a.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Eastern. My mind is crazy because I'm on the West Coast, right? It's not even 11 here for me. 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesdays and Fridays, you can find us at digitalwheaties.com. That's where we do training.
Just one thing before we go is for those people that did not get the tickets to the Network Marketing Way to Wealth, just let me kind of give you a synopsis how this is working. The 27th of September at the hotel, at the same hotel that they're having the event on, in my suite, I'm going to do a training specifically for people in the live and the master level, okay, for the 27th in the evening. That's in my hotel suite. The next day, the 28th, all day, 9 to 5, and the next day, 9 to 3, we're going to do trainings for everybody that's going to come to the event, okay, and that's at the hotel. And then that evening on Friday starts the Network Marketing Way to Wealth. That Friday night, all day Saturday, and then into Sunday. So it's a huge thing going on. So if you see that link in the chat over there, you can get tickets over there. I think they're still holding it out at 50% just for a short period of time, and probably until tomorrow, I think. And now, if you can't make it to Orlando, Florida, then get a simulcast. Get a simulcast. You'll have the broadcast. You won't have the UEconomy event there, but you'll have the simulcast for the Network Marketing Way to Wealth. I'm speaking there as well as 20 other people, and they'll have a lot of great information for you to be able to build your business. Plus, also $17,000 in bonuses and other stuff coming out as well too. So live tickets are 50% off, VIP tickets are 50% off, and simulcasts are 50% off, but until Friday. So get those if you can, at least the simulcast. Get them for your group. Get them in there. And we're also going to be making videos of different stuff we're doing at UEconomy there that we're going to be publishing in the UEconomy. So if you can't make it, that's okay. We'll be able to do the information for you as we videotape stuff. But if you can get there, there's nothing like feeling the vibe of a concert, right? It's like a rock concert there when you have your people there. And it's going to be a great thing to be there on 27, 28, 29, 30, and the 1st. So it's a lot of time that you can actually get yourself rocket fueled. Okay, so I just wanted to pass it on before we go there. Also, hotel rooms. If you call up the hotel for the hotel room, 27, 28, 29, mention UEconomy, And for the rest of the time, you can mention network marketing way to wealth, and they'll have rooms. We already got rooms slotted. I think there's only like 10 rooms available left on the 27th. So that's kind of filling up quick. So there's only 10 rooms left on the 27th. And I think you're probably down to 20 or so on the 28th. And the 29th is filling up quick as well, too. So get your rooms quick if you have to. Room with somebody. Find some way to go and do that, okay? And to get there, because I love to shake your hand and meet you and, you know, feel the vibes and stuff going on over there. So back to you, Joe. We'll close out.
Thank you very much, Peter. And I'll say this, the best part of any live meeting I've ever been to is the meeting after the meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Lunch, or you're out by the swimming pool, you're networking with people, is very relaxed and formal. That's some of the best information I've ever gotten in all of the years I've been attending events.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's the stuff you learn before and after those things that you get the most out of, because you're actually physically talking person to person with people. Yeah,
for sure. All right, Peter, thank you very much. We'll call it a Zoom, and we'll be back weekdays morning, whatever day you're watching this. We'll see you at weekday mornings at 12 noon Eastern. Until then, everybody, make it a great day. Let's get busy, okay?